Hi everyone, this is my take on the gas task. And to first off start with my assumptions. So when I first looked at this problem, I was a little nervous of how I was going to figure it out because of just the vague directions. But it's kind of the purpose of this is just to try to figure out, what we know and try to come up with some kind of mathematical model that we can use to represent whether or not it's worthwhile for Mr. Stone to drive to Virginia to fill up his car or not. So when I'm reading this, a couple points that I take away is first, it just says to fill up his car. And it doesn't say whether, what type of car that is. And depending on the type of car you have, it kind of can depend on the miles per gallon that you get or how big the gas tank is and everything like that. So that was one assumption that I had that I wanted to use to analyze this, and then also the gas prices in Virginia and North Carolina. So those I have listed more boldly at the top. So Virginia was equal to $2.55 and NC was $2.85. So after I read this, then I went into trying to figure out the categories for the car, and I chose sedan, which would be your basic four-door little car, and then SUV, bigger car, and then your truck. We all know what those are. So I chose those, and then I decided to pick the miles per gallon that each one would have. So I just did a random average of 25 miles per gallon for a sedan, 20 for an SUV, and 15 for a truck. And then I decided I needed to figure out what size the gas tank would be. And then I did 12 gallon, 16 gallon, and 20 gallon tank. So based off of those tank sizes and the prices in Virginia and North Carolina, I came up with costs for each one of those. So in North Carolina, it would be about $34.20 to fill up a sedan, and Virginia, $30.60. An SUV was 45 and 60 cents in $45.60 in North Carolina and $40.80 in Virginia, and a truck was $57 in North Carolina and $51 in Virginia. So scrolling on down here, I then decided to figure out the difference between the North Carolina price and the Virginia price. And for a sedan, it was $3.60. SUV was $4.80, and a truck was $6 difference. So the next thing I wanted to do is I wanted to figure out how many more gallons extra that I could get from the difference of saving money by getting the gas in Virginia versus North Carolina. And so the difference for a sedan, you take 360 and then you divide that by the price of gas in Virginia, and you get 1.41 gallons extra that we can buy from the difference that we saved. So then for an SUV, if I do the math, I get 1.88 gallons extra that we can buy. And then for a truck, I get 2.35 gallons extra that we're able to buy from the difference that we saved by getting gas in Virginia, if we did get gas in Virginia. And then after that, I wanted to figure out how many more miles that I could drive based off of the extra gas that I could buy. So I take 1.41 for the sedan and multiply it by 25 because that's the miles per gallon that I can get off of that car. So you end up getting 35.25 miles. That's the extra amount of mileage that we can drive based off of the gas that we save, and then or the money that we saved. and then 1.88 times 20 for the 20 miles per gallon. For SUV, you get 37.60 miles. And then if you take 2.35 gallons extra that we get for the truck and multiply it by 15 miles per gallon, you get 35.25 miles. So this, I'm going to scroll on down here so that you can kind of see my little picture I drew. So these miles here are the amount of miles extra that we can drive by getting gas in Virginia. Okay, so seeing that, I wanted to basically see, the whole goal of this was to see how many miles away you could live from the, I forgot to draw my little border symbol. Let's see if I can do that. Here we go. Okay, so this is NC, right? Because that's where he lives. And then Virginia. Okay, so as you can see here, okay, the gas station is over here in Virginia. And then this is the SUV, the car, and the truck. So I wanted to see how far away you could live, depending on the type of car you drive, in order to break even whether or not you are getting gas in North Carolina or Virginia. Okay, so like the price would be the same. So for the SUV, it was 37.60 miles. And then for the car and truck, it was 35.25 miles. But that would be the total distance overall. So I need to divide that by 2, which is what I did here. So 35.25 divided by 2 is 17.625 miles. 37.60 divided by 2 is 18.8 miles. And then the truck's going to be the same as the car because it was the same numbers. So total distance, if you drove an SUV, you could live 18.8 miles away from the closest gas station in Virginia to be able to break even if you bought gas in North Carolina. So if you lived anywhere in between here, okay, you would be saving money in some form or another. Okay, and then this is where it comes into play of, Mr. Stone, what does the term worthwhile mean to him? Worthwhile might be saving a penny for him, or worthwhile might be saving a couple dollars for him. And then that would all depend on, where from the line to here he wanted to live. Okay, because he lived, not he wanted to live, he lived somewhere in a town in here, but I don't know where that is. So as long as he lives within a little bit less than 18.8 miles, then he's saving gas in some form or another. Okay, and then for the car or the truck, you would have to live within 17.65 miles of the closest gas station in Virginia to break even with getting gas in North Carolina. Okay, and if the town he lived in was anywhere in between this area here, he would be saving some form of money. I mean, amount of money is what I meant. So he would be saving some amount of money if he lived in between here up into that 17.65 miles. So that's my mathematical model of the categories, separating it out into the different types of cars. So I hope this made sense. Again, it's still up for assumption here whether it's worthwhile. I mean, I would say it would be worthwhile because you're saving some amount of money if he lives within that area. But again, it all depends on what area he lives in and what he considers to be worthwhile or not. Thank you.